these other segments where I'm doing books and all that. I do something like kind of like I do on Instagram, and I am a blogger, and I figure I'm making my breakfast, so I'll just do that. I'm looking for my vape now because I got a vape. I'm starving, so I'm making hash browns, but I just been a little out of it because honestly, I suffer from depression and I do have autism. So I guess a lot of that put together really can hit a person at certain times. And yesterday, I just, with all the stress from work and stuff, it just kind of all hit me. So I figure instead of taking it out on people that I care about and all that, I would just relax, maybe smoke some medical marijuana, and I figured I'm starving, so I had some potatoes, so I was gonna cut them up and maybe try to be productive in my morning. Because I do like fried eggs and potatoes, but maybe try to discuss like things that really kind of affect people, and this affects me every day. That's why I have a service dog. Because honestly, I get depression. It hits me so far that sometimes don't care if I live or die. And this is true facts. I really don't. Some people care about it. I don't. If it comes to get me, it comes to get me. And finally, I get to leave this world, but it's a bad condition to have sometimes. It really is. Depression is not fun. It's not fun in the least. It's one of the most horrendous things you could have is depression. So, I mean, I do fight with depression on a daily, and I guess maybe that's why I kind of wanted to start doing social media just for something that was not. Oh, okay, that's the right word for this. Because I try to find activities. And the autism kind of puts me in a blah moment sometimes. And we all talk about people that are uncomfortable in their own body with just, I don't know, just normal things. They don't feel they're, like I was watching the jazz, where she's not uncomfortable because she has a penis. There's some people that just don't feel comfortable living. And it's a really bad thing to have, but I smoked my marijuana for uplifting a little bit because I do know that suicide and all that is horrible, and it does affect people in bad ways. Your loved ones, because honestly, when I get in that kind of state of affairs, when I get in these state of affairs, I honestly sometimes do not want to live. And it's the God honest truth. Sometimes having activities help me, I guess you could say, because I try to have these activities because sometimes it's hard. And I think depression is honestly, I think it's something that's underestimated because they figure, oh, you're a little depressed, it's fine. But there's some people legitly, they're good people like me, that if there was a natural disaster, something to happen, and there was a kid that could die before me, I would probably want to die in a noble way. And I guess in a lot of ways, sometimes I get the way I want to die together all the time. And it literally is because of my condition. And sometimes I do realize it could be a problem, and I'm not in any kind of I've never. I mean, I tried a little acid in my day, and things like that. Just acid, but but that was it, and I survived, and I haven't done that for a long time. I'm just on the uplifting. I forgot what strain the bud tender gave me, but he gave me the strain that actually does help. And I guess maybe because this jazz girl kind of. I'm trying to find this. I'm trying to actually get this hooked in my stupid thing. Hang on. Okay, there we go. Alright, that's good. That's hooked up. But anyways, Jazz kind of tells her story, so I figure why not? And I guess she was on YouTube. I didn't know that. I was watching her thing on TV. So I was thinking to myself, maybe I should maybe try to do segments talking about depression and things, because honestly it's a battle that a lot of people in general have, especially during hard times, and it goes so underrated, and people forget about the elephant in the room, the people that go through so much hardships, and they literally just get swept behind. And mine was when my oldest son kind of left on bad terms when he was 18, because we weren't getting along at the time, and it put me in a depression for a long time to where I had to get a service dog and everything else. I do have I do have two kids. I got my oldest kid too, but I realized that if I was to one day leave this earth, that they would be upset if I wasn't. He would be upset if I wasn't here. So I do what I can. I've been going to the dispensary, getting what I need to get to keep myself stable. But honestly, I find it easier if you are going through depression. And I know it sounds crazy. Try activities. And if you feel like yelling and screaming and just doing a bunch of unnecessary things, knit. That's why a lot of the times I knit, and I probably look like a knitting psychopath. Knitting helps. Sometimes getting the right weed strain helps, and you can totally get your medical marijuana card for this. That's how one of the main reasons they gave it to me. Well, how I got a service dog. And honestly, the first day I got him, I didn't know what I was going to do because it was so long since I had a dog. So long. And I had to bring him to the training classes and different stuff because I had no clue what I was doing with a dog. I know about kids, I know about patients, I know about people when they're sick, that mental status, because maybe I identify with it. Honestly, because I have it. So a lot of the times when patients end up in nursing homes and different places, this is what happens. They get real depressed. I'm just trying to get my little seasoning together, try and make this halfway decent. Alright, I'm not trying to be too inventive with this, so I'm just going to put pepper on this stuff. He can just, when he wakes up, he could just go ahead and put something else on it. I don't know, and I don't care at this moment. But anyways, that's kind of how depression hits you. It's just like today, I just wanted to argue with my husband and tell him that I didn't like something he did, and it just hits you, and then you just get real argumentative at times. And I've had to take a step back and realize what I'm doing because I have sometimes really bad behavior when it comes to that, and it's not the most healthy. So I tend to kind of realize that I just need to chill out at times because this is what happens when you have really bad depression. I'm just putting this in my dishwasher. But it is what happens when you have really bad depression, and sometimes you gotta ride through the storm. I like to put it. There's always a storm that people ride through with depression. And I sometimes ride through it more often than I'd like since my son went crazy. And I guess just set his life back because the girl ended up just doing some spiteful things to him. And I did not want to be right through any of it, but I was. And it deeply bothers me because I did not want to be right. But I know right now he's probably in an angry state of mind. And my older son does tell me all the time that I should talk to him, but he's not ready to talk to me. So I just kind of do social media and different little things to keep myself busy to maybe help other people because I feel that I should. I'm just grabbing my bacon. Okay, but I did want to start this originally, and it wasn't to be super popular. It was literally just to try to reach out to people going through maybe similar problems like me. And maybe, I mean, it's been a wild ride through Facebook and Instagram on occasions. I'm not gonna lie, it really has. So I guess maybe I didn't have time to. I lost my purpose of why I was doing things. And I guess this is the purpose why I was doing it. I just never really got a lot of exposure, and I was trying to get to the point where I could find somewhere where I could talk about my depression and anxiety and stuff. And these little projects just mean a lot to me. Like I do the audiobook one, honestly, because I believe it's very relaxing to listen to other people read to you. And it's something I used to love as a kid, and I kind of do it to help out people that suffer from true depression. Some people just get a little depressed and say they got depression. And to speaking to me, I have true depression. I wake up, I can have $1 million, and somehow I will find something depressing about having $1 million in my hand. To me, that's life. And I don't think people really realize the depth that can be, and they like to put their opinions in situations that I guess they just don't understand. Or they like to say, I don't understand why you got a service dog. It don't matter. Honestly, why did or why didn't. I mean, he has a good home, and why not? But people have scrutinized me for it. I like to throw away all my stuff right away. I'm just gonna let that bacon start and finish some of this over here. But I do sometimes get scrutinized for things like that, but to me, I'm okay with it because I'm not here to be rich. I'm not really, I mean, if I make money, I make money. I'm okay with it either way. I like to do this for service for anybody that has depression so that maybe little things would help. And like I said, the audiobooks is geared. I try to pick books that would interest you to make you not be depressed, if that makes any sense. The more you get your brain moving, the less depressed you are. It's good to be productive, and if you suffer from depression, it's absolutely great to go to educational pursuits and teach you something that you didn't know before, because that's the best thing for depression. And if you can't get to a actual college, I suggest to go to some of these guys on some of these people on YouTube that I've been watching, the colleges, Harvard. They have lectures on Harvard all the time. And let's say, I'm feeling real bad or I got depressed day. I listened to the Harvard lecture on psychology or just something. You can understand your own condition better this way. I know it sounds crazy, but if you understand what you're dealing with, it doesn't seem to be as bad. And I do. I listen to these guys. They do. And it's a thing they just started through COVID. And honestly, if you suffer from depression and different forms of autisms and stuff, people with autism love to learn new things. And it doesn't hurt anybody to learn new things. Because you're doing it for you. You're not doing it for your career. You're just doing it to understand yourself a little more. That's why I listen to all these lectures. I mean, I did go to college, but it wasn't like I had a lot of money and I went to Harvard or Yale or anything like that, or Ohio State or one of the top 10 colleges. I just simply went to a community college. That was it. That was all I did. And I've always suffered. I always wanted to kill myself. Ever since I was younger, I tried a couple times to kill myself. I scared the shit out of my mom a couple times, I'm not gonna lie. I was sent to a psychologist for a while, and I got to a better place in my life. And I feel that if you can get yourself in a better place, sometimes it's the best thing. A lot of people won't tell you this, but maybe I thought So I have enough exposure. I'm just trying to get my favorite cup washed right now. But since I have a little exposure, I figure I might as well help people. Because I do work on things, and I always try to work on myself. Because honestly, I know what my life is. I know what is going to change about it and what is not. I'm always going to have depression no matter what, so this is what I do. I try to do activities that make things better for me and not worse. Because honestly, if you're going to be depressed, you might as well try to learn something. By the time you learn something, you realize, oh, this is why I'm feeling this way sometimes, or that was really cool to know that. Because sometimes it's nice just to kind of get that out of the way. It really is. But it's just kicking in real hard today. I'm going to try to do more vlogs with this, with my everyday experiences, especially like if I'm in a moment where I feel depressed. That maybe if somebody else is depressed out there, it might actually help a little. So, I mean, that's where I'm at. So, and I don't know. I mean, I hope this video helps somebody. I mean, that's like really all I got to offer is a lot of depression advice because I'm not the most coolest person in the world. I like to stay secluded in my apartment and edit and stuff because it keeps my mind off the elephant in the room, which is my depression. And the elephant in the room is always there. It really is. It stays with me from when I wake up till I go to bed. And it is what it is, as they say. So, you embrace it or die with it. Oh, there you go. I'm vlogging to make the breakfast. But you probably already ordered something. I was making you bacon and I was going to make hash browns. And then do you want fried eggs or no eggs? You just want hash browns and bacon?
Yeah.
Alright. So these are done and I'm cooking the bacon now. I decided to do I'm on Chilling with Chong. I decided to talk about depression since Jazz is on there talking about her transition. The only thing I have to offer is depression advice. I was so damn depressed, I was ready to tear your head off when you came home, so I fell asleep.
Oh, okay. I can tell.
Because I want to talk to you and you get on there and ignore me, and I wanted to just to stab you.
I wasn't ignoring you. Before I got on to we talked.
We did, but I wanted to talk. You always like.
You should have told me, Michelle, when I get home from work, I'd be tired. I'd be exhausted.
I know, that's why
I'd
I.
be naive.
That's
So
why.
you gotta let me know. I mean, it sounds stupid
You're
saying
already
that.
you're already on the thing, and I don't want to upset Brittany and James because
I wasn't playing with them last night.
I don't know. I just don't want to upset you because I know they go through things, but I was
Michelle,
just.
you don't gotta. So you can upset anyone. You gotta talk to me. You gotta talk to me. I can always tell them, hey, I'll be back. You gotta do something. Like,
I just feel like I'm in a time limit then.
Michelle, you're not on a time limit. I tell someone, you tell someone you'll be back later. It's no time limit. Stop being so.
Well, it's hard to be when I'm in a moment.
Michelle, I get it, but I'm saying that's not a time limit, sweetie. That's me telling someone I'll be back on when I be back
Well,
on.
then they'll be mad because they
No,
want
they
to.
won't be mad, Michelle. See, that's the thing. You get in your head too much like that.
Well,
That's
I
another
just.
thing for your stream. What you should talk about. Even though you might think someone will be mad at the other person, whatever the situation is, that is not always the situation. That situation is the depression kicking in and making you feel like that and making you think that.
Possibly.
No, it's no possibly. It is.
Well, I see Nicole. They're all out there.
So
The evil apartment manager, and I was trying to do a live stream on Instagram, but somehow I don't know what happened to it. I lost it, and it was whatever. She came out with her raggedy ass.
what was she doing?
They got all the people for the apartment with fire damage.
If you oh yeah, even with that late fucking janky truck catching the fucking apartment on fire.
Yeah, they're all up in there, and she looked at me, and they looked at Chong, and then I seen all the people doing the housekeeping. They wanted to pet Chong. I said that they're going to get all muddy.
What you telling me was muddy?
Well, he was muddy. It's rain. It's snowing out there. That's why I was doing a thing.
And what did they say?
They didn't say nothing. They said it was cute. I said if you didn't wasn't going to get all muddy, I would.
Right.
But they had their work clothes on ready to do, and then he goes, "That's okay." I go, "No, I don't want you to be all muddy," because I didn't. But I figure since Jazz does all that stuff, like all on that, I mean,
Look at that.
the coolest thing I have to talk about is how I want to kill myself every day.
You got to smile about it.
I
Get out the fridge. Get out the fridge. Everyone in the stream. That's another thing. Teach it. Make sure doggies don't go in the fridge. To sniff out stuff.
That's because he wants a potato.
Matata. Akuma Matata.
I'll boil you a potato, Chong, if you're good today. You can only have it boiled, and that's it.
Watch out. Chong, you get splashed with the fucking oil. Come on.
Like you can't have the fried one, but I'll boil you a potato if you're good all day.
Come on, Chong. Hey. Come on.
All right, so you don't want any eggs. All right, well then I'm making 2 for myself, and I'll finish up the bacon. But yeah, that was the husband. Sometimes he gets home and I want to talk, and I get so angry I just go to sleep. But like I said, I was watching the Jazz Girl and kind of got a little inspiration, and I decided that maybe I could be an advocate for people with depression. So if you are depressed, I'm going to try to come on here once a day and describe my own depression for the day so you know you're not alone in this depression. Because that's the worst thing, thinking that you're alone with your depression. And that's coming from a person that has it. Sean, get out of the refrigerator. But I figured, maybe that you guys want to know about something besides that. And I can blog my activities, like when I'm cooking and different things. And it doesn't always have to be outside, and it doesn't always have to be an audio recording. I do want to get a couple of those done because I feel that if Harvard's doing these recordings for books, maybe I can help by someone that can't read, give an awareness to a book that they may have wanted to hear, but sometimes it's hard. You got to go on Amazon, and they have the audio books you can get, but you got to pay for them, and then someone might not have used to a phone like that. So for purposes for the person that can't afford to get an audiobook, I try to be the person in the audiobook to help them. I know it sounds corny, But if it was me, I totally would want this done. So I decided, I'm doing this for like my charity work for people that maybe can't read or don't have time to read. Something of that nature, I guess. Because, I mean, we take for granted that some people just go about their day and they can get audiobooks or this, that, or listening to it in their car. Maybe there's that one person that only can get YouTube from a foreign country that possibly can't do any of it, and maybe they don't have access to none of it. And we never think when the shoe's on the other foot sometimes. And it could be something just small like that. So I'm not Harvard, but I'm trying to kind of do what I can do. And that's just just reading somebody a book. That's what I'm going to do. I know there was some kind of money giveaway, and someone said I was lucky and I can get $10,000 today on Facebook. And I want to know what would be kind of possibly true, but that skeptical inside of me says no, it can't. And I'm not trying to get, and they wanted my bank information, that was the thing. Maybe I could have bought it if they didn't need all of my bank information. I just never had somebody give me a prize with giving all my bank information. I mean, they had a whole detailed explanation of why they were doing it, but it just didn't even add up to make any sense to me, honestly. So I just didn't do it because I don't feel it's good practice to do it. And I'm very suspicious of everything, I guess you could say. So, so I didn't, because it is what it is at that point. Alright, I don't even think that I want to have bread. I haven't really been eating bread lately. I just like my eggs. I get excited over eggs lately. But I mean, I hope this is helping you guys, and if I get good views back on this, like when I get in a depression moment, I'll just start coming over here so you guys can kind of see how it is living with depression. Because there's honestly, I don't think I ever wake up a day, even if it was the best day on earth, happy about living. I mean, I'm always happy about the people that live around me, that they're alive, but I'm just never happy to live my own life. And this is what happens every day. So every day when I have a moment like this, I'm just gonna come on here to help that person that maybe needs kind of the help to get through their day. Because I feel that everybody should get through their day somehow. And if I could be the inspiration person that wants to literally die every day, living and doing things, maybe it'll help somebody else. Because every day I tell myself it's the depression. And every day I move on with my day after I get through that ugly beast. But I never wake up any day, ever, and actually have a day where I'm excited about living. That is just what it is. And I guess if you have true depression, this is what it is every day. No matter how successful you are, Robin Williams had it. So, if Robin Williams had this, it's a thing. It's out there, and you kind of got to be aware of things. Because, to you, it sounds like a really good idea. Because it's always a really good idea. I mean, the way you want to die, but to others around you, and maybe they afterthought, it's not a good idea. So I guess I want to just stay here to encourage everyone that has true depression, which we don't, there's no one out there that really focuses on this subject. They just tell you to be happy and shove you along the way. This is literally all they do. And it's just not helpful. Coming from a person with depression is not helpful. So I try to give that person out there that does have true depression, that's waking up like, what the fuck? Maybe some helpful tips on why they should live their day. Because we go through this, people that have depression. Reasons of why you should live this day. And it's a real thing. So, and I figure, if I'm still alive, if you are got depression out there, you're alive, well, let's just make this a great day. We're both alive together. And if you live with somebody that's suffering from depression, just know that every day that it's not good for them. But sometimes you just got to be a little more supportive, I guess. And, when I have some friends, they come to me for advice because I deal with my own depression every damn day. And sometimes talking to the depressed person is makes you feel better because they kind of know where you're coming from. But then on the other hand, sometimes they don't have no support. So I guess I'm here for them and that person to give awareness to depression because I think it's underrated, and I think now with the world at the state of affairs it is, we should be a little more conscientious of people with depression and depression itself. And I think it's underrated. It's way too underrated. But that's just coming from my opinion, a person with depression. So, I mean, that's just a grain of salt. You just take relief. So, I figure I see how this goes. And me and the hubby are probably going to eat. I'm going to give him his eggs. I made me some 3 fried eggs. Because I do like my fried eggs. I love eggs. One of these days I'm gonna have high cholesterol. I'm gonna eat so many of them. I try to eat less. I love them. But like I said, I'm hoping that this is helpful to somebody. I really, really do. And I'll see how this goes. When I'm done later in the day, maybe I'll discuss like other stuff when maybe I'll hit another depressed moment. But I guess, we'll go from there because I feel that I just feel it should be addressed, this issue, more than anything. We're going through a money struggle. We're coming off COVID. Things aren't really where they need to be. There's shifts in power. People have lost money. They've lost a lot of things. And you can develop it and get into a habit of it. and you won't even notice the person that wants to kill themselves right was standing right next to you. So I just feel that I'm not saying everyone has depression. They could be a little depressed, but depression is on the on rise. I've always had it, but it's starting to be on the rise again. So be conscious of your fellow man, like I said, and I'll probably be on later. I'm gonna try to do an audio recording to finish out the book because I figure somebody might want to know about a service dog, and it does have a lot of details about service dogs in there. So, and I'm gonna end this because I'm gonna eat breakfast and decide, get ready for my next stream and stuff like that. So, if I don't know your guys' names, it always comes up on Facebook, but thank you for listening, and I'm going to be eating my breakfast, and everybody have a good day. All right.